I mean, you talked there about a couple of years ago when you were playing that in the last India home series. That was the year when obviously Smith and Warner and Bancroft were all banned during that summer. I mean, can you describe what it's like to face, Bumrah, that sort of the Wanger arm and the entire quality of the Indian attack generally? I mean, we've hypothesized many times in this podcast about how the fuck you even see the ball coming out of his arm. Like, I mean, how do you face Bumrah when he's like stuttering in, then just?
No, it's nuts. Bumrah's just, he's next level, and something that no one's really seen in world cricket. Maybe Malinga, although at least he kind of run in. Like Bumrah's just walking in, and then he's about 2 steps out, and he goes bang bang, and then it's just like a bowling machine. It just comes out at pace. So it's hard to get cues, because it seems like he's got a good technique, and he gets right over his front foot, so he's getting his pace through that. But it seems like he's got a really, really good wrist. So the cue between his bouncer and his Yorker and his slower ball is so minimal that you're just kind of hoping that you hit the ball and it doesn't hit you on your pads or your stumps or your head.
Yeah. Just with these selection issues, Pete, so you've, it feels to me like you're right at the center of a lot of these things, because like you've obviously selected yourself out of a game last night. You've got Wade usurping Payne, and then back at Victoria, there's a new generation coming through. You're skipper there. But many people on the internet and in the press want Maxi and Aaron Finch involved in the red ball stuff. The internet wants that. So fuck, there must be a lot of WhatsApp threads for various teams and then secret spin-off threads and stuff that you've got to be involved in.
You wouldn't believe it. The amount of WhatsApp groups. And you got to be so careful. So, when you're like typing something and then just before you hit send, you make sure that it's the right group. Victoria side group spinners only or something make sure this isn't a sentence where I'm spraying the spinners for not getting a wicket or something like that. So
you can't write it.
You got to be careful, boys. Everything's out there. Social media, you can't get away from it.
Yeah. We're actually texting Peter Handscomb before about you, but that's actually take that several times beforehand. Pete H, exactly right. I mean, Pete, but you've obviously been in in Australian dressing rooms during some pretty tough times with the public, as Pez said before, sort of baying for blood and that sort of thing. I mean, how do you think the Australian team would have been feeling at the end of day 5? Just absolute despair, but also a bit of relief about, I actually get to go and see my family now, on Pat Cummins' farm. Or, is it sort of acceptance that, India are the rising superpower? Which one of those two is it?
Well, I think there was a fair bit of, thank God that summer's over. It was tough, but it was a tough bubble life. And obviously the boys have been under the pump, right from the get-go. As soon as something was wrong, the entire public was against them, which was a massive shame, because they're actually playing some pretty good cricket, and some individual performances were pretty amazing, and to see the public sort of go against the boys was disappointing, whereas I feel like the focus probably should have been on how well the Indian cricket team actually played. Well, let's be honest, they've come over here, tough conditions, they've had the same bubble life, they only had 2 blokes from the first team from the first test that played in the last test.
Yeah.
And they still managed to beat Australia at the Gabba. That shows how good they are, the depth of cricket that they've got. They've got this amazing young group coming through. So to see the public and see the what they were writing, or what I was being told that they were writing in the papers and stuff was shit, really.
Yeah.